I want to see this shit.
I have to say, Director, we're pretty close to the halfway point during this. You answered more questions with an ABC reporter than you have with members of Congress. We have a lot more questions. The American people are demanding that we get answers to those questions, and that's what the purpose of this hearing is today. So I'm sure a lot of the questions that have already been asked are going to be asked again.
I want the hot
and
water
hopefully
one.
we can get some answers to those questions. I strongly implore you to answer those questions. You're here with a subpoena, and we expect you to answer the questions. Chair now recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Cheatle, the American people
Police
are
activity
watching,
is the best
and they're
channel for police
wondering
body
if there are
cam videos. It has the kitchen video if you're looking for it.
I'll look at it, but I feel like it's fine.
any
I'll look at it.
questions you can answer honestly today. So, Director Cheatle, I have a series of questions, very specific questions. I want very specific answers. Most of my questions are going to demand a yes or no answer. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, my first question. Both sides of the aisle today have asked for your resignation. Would you like to use my 5 minutes to draft your resignation letter, yes or no?
No, thank you.
Was this a colossal failure?
It was a failure.
Yes or no? Was it a colossal failure is the question, yes or no?
I have admitted this is a terrible.
This is a yes or no series of questions. Was this a colossal failure?
Yo, this Congress shit is trash. Okay, let me tell you why it's trash. It's all a game of optics. I'm trying to look a certain way on TV, right? I'm not wrong about this. I don't give a fuck. It's all about looks for TV. I don't give a fuck. It's some PR shit. Okay, was this a catastrophic, apocalyptic, dog shit failure? What was a failure? Not what I asked. Was it apocalyptic and disastrously failure? It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. Just get to the get to the thing, man.
Failure, yes
Jesus.
or no?
Yes.
Was this tragedy preventable, yes or no?
Yes.
Has the Secret Service been transparent with this committee?
Yes.
Would you say the fact that we had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today as being transparent, yes or no?
I have always been eager
Yes
to
or no?
come
You didn't
and
want to
talk
answer
to
the question.
committee.
We had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today. That is not transparent, by the way. You stated earlier, Secret Service is not political. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say leaking your opening statement to Punchbowl News, Politico's Playbook, and Washington Post several hours before you sent it to this committee as being political, yes or no?
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Well, that's bullshit. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record articles by Punchbowl News, Political Playbook, Washington Post, all done at 5:24 a.m., 6:12 a.m., 6:34 a.m., a solid 3 to 4 hours before this committee got your statement.
Without objection to ordered.
Okay. Is the Secret Service fully cooperating with our committee?
Yes.
Okay, you say you're fully cooperating with this committee. On July 15th, this committee sent you a list.
God, I've lost faith in this type of like, what is this, Congress bullshit, whatever this is, because even when they have information and they're communicating all the correct parts, they still use they still don't know, they don't have any expertise, they're just terrible. Look at anything that is tech related. I will defend it. Look at any hearing that is tech related and they're given information, they don't even know how to process, and they go, is it true that somebody is using the waves in the air as Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi? Really, dude? Yes, we got them. They used Wi-Fi.
Of demand
That's it.
Information that we wanted. Has the Secret Service provided this committee a complete list of all law enforcement personnel that were there that day? Have you done that? Have you provided a list to the Oversight Committee? Yes or no?
I will have to get back to you on that.
That is a no. Have you provided all audio and video recordings in your possession to this committee, as we asked on July 15th? Yes or no?
I would have to get back to you.
That is a no. You're full of shit today. You're just being completely dishonest.
Mr. Chairman,
Completely dishonest.
Chairman, I want to
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
We have to
continue.
maintain decorum in this committee, no matter
Have
how
you provided
upset we
any
get.
and all memos to this committee that we've asked you on July 15th? Have you provided all memorandums within the Secret Service?
I would have to get back to you on
That is a no. You are being dishonest or lying. Like you're being dishonest here with this committee. These are important questions that the American people want answers to, and you're just dodging and talking around it in generalities. And we had to subpoena you to be here, and you won't even answer the questions. We have asked you repeatedly to answer our questions. This isn't hard. These are not hard questions. Have you provided us all communications from the Secret Service related to that day and that rally? Have you provided this committee? We've asked for this information on July 15th. Have you provided any of this information that this committee has asked of the Secret Service? Any of it?
I'll have to get back to you.
Have you even read this letter that we sent you? Did you even read this?
Yes.
Okay. And you have said you don't know, you have no idea. Well, the answer is no.
No, I can
We
go- I
haven't
can go with
gotten
the
a
Madia.
single document or piece of information or data from you or your agency in related to the rally that we have asked you for. So, was this attempted assassination of Donald Trump a failure of training or execution or both?
I think that those are answers that we need to
Training,
examine.
execution, or both? Which one?
I think those are answers.
All
we
right.
need
How
to
many
determine.
how many Secret Service personnel have lost their jobs due to this colossal failure?
At this time, none.
How many Secret Service personnel have been required to take a refresher course on how not to let people shoot Donald Trump?
Our personnel are currently operational. We are examining the facts of this investigation, and we will make the changes necessary.
What time did law enforcement become aware that there was an individual on the roof with a clear line of sight to President Trump?
I am still verifying timelines.
Of course, 9 days in, you have no answers. How many minutes went by between the time law enforcement saw and took photos of crooks and the shooting? How many minutes?
I am still verifying timelines.
57 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Yeah, guys, I don't want to quote unquote defend it too much, but I can see how there's a lot of pieces to this shit, and they probably want to get it right and get a correct answer. Because if they get an answer wrong, because they didn't have all the compiled information, and is there something wrong, and down the line they say, well, it wasn't 20 minutes, it was 26 because we didn't have all the data at the time. I knew you guys are lying. Insider, this is some fucking collusion and corruption, and it's like, dude, like they want to get it right, and I think it's perfectly fine. But I don't know what was going behind, like, before this. So yeah.
I lost faith in these hearing
It's
things.
an
when
investigation.
one guy kept
It does
asking
take
the
time, though.
CEO
It
if he
does
was from
take time,
China
though.
And if he worked for the Chinese Communist Party, and the guy was like, no bitch, I'm a citizen of Singapore.
It's not about having the answers. It's about having the answer. Of course they have answers, but why would they give answers but without confirming they have the answer? The answer is a lot more important than the answers. Dude, I'm not slow, you're slow. It's an ongoing investigation, brother man. What the fuck?
Chair recognizes is the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Biggs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I request unanimous consent for that photo to go into the official record.
Without objection to ordered.
Thank you, Director. Your agency has a no-fail mission, and on Saturday, July 13th, your agency spectacularly failed. The failure resulted in the death of Corey Comprador and serious injury to two other.
Exactly. Yeah, just go live on stage and possibly lie to incriminate yourself to satisfy the mob people. Yeah, dude. If she doesn't have the answer or isn't clear to give the answer, what the fuck is she gonna do? Just fucking give them whatever they want at the time, and then go to jail for lying and fucking collusion and traitorry and
True. And James Copenhaver, besides the injuries to President Trump. It is unfathomable.
Then
that
don't
a
lie.
10-year-old
If they don't have it, they don't have it. Holy shit. Maybe that's another department failure or whatever. But assuming that she's lying is I think it's odd.
On the radar of Secret Service and local law enforcement before President Trump went on stage, was able to climb onto the roof of a building with a rifle and fire off multiple rounds before he was neutralized. Was Mr. Crooks acting alone?
Again, I would have to refer you to the FBI's investigation.
Was he just a lone gunman?
I would have to refer you to the FBI's investigation for motive.
What did the Technical Services Division determine was going to be the event perimeter?
Those are questions that we are asking, and we're
I mean, you're sitting here today.
Yeah, she's being kind of annoying. I mean,
Everybody said this. You knew you were going to be asked that question because it's been asked multiple times. So this is an easy one. What did they determine was going to be the event perimeter? So you should know that. I mean, this is not, gee, I got to wait till someone else tells me. What was it?
it would probably be better to communicate and say how much time you need for this shit, and then subpoena them or ask if she comes. But subpoenaing when they know she doesn't have the answers, well, dude, you're not gonna get answers. Well, if you're forcing somebody that says that you don't have the answer yet, and you go, well, no answers, that's insane, dude. It's been 9 days. Do you guys work for the Secret Service, the FBI? Do you guys work for the police? Do you know how long it takes to investigate things and to get timelines and to get fucking witness accounts, fucking compiling data, doing fucking science and fucking ballistics and fucking forensics? Bro, this shit could take fucking months.
Oh,
Are you
God,
brain
oh,
dead?
no. I think I just ran over my mother.
This could take months.
Was today a good day? Some might say. Others will
Again, I
say
don't wanna
something
speak
else.
to
What I say is I really, really have to go and take a shit, but I'm on the edge of glory. Someone help me wipe.
Specifics of the event.
Okay,
that took place?
this is a specific.
I understand.
This is a specific that you ought to know. As someone who said the buck stops with me, I'm going to stay in my job, I'm going to give the answers to the American people, and I know what happened.
The American people doesn't deserve answers. That's my take of the day. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Okay. Fuck it.
You're not going to tell us.
I said it.
And you're not going to tell the American people. And you yourself said in an interview that foments.
You can give the people the exact timeline of exactly what happened, and people will say, it's a conspiracy, it's an inside job, it's a whatever. I don't know what this is, but I will interpret it like I'm an expert. People are brain dead. If this is a Secret Service and it's like some intricate shit, sometimes it's pretty fine not to fucking tell them, because they're fucking stupid.
This notion of conspiracy theories. Guess what? When you sit here and repeatedly tell people, hey, I have to wait, as it frustrated everybody on this committee, guess what? It undermines your credibility and whether you're really going to get to it. So I'm going to ask you again, what did the Technical Service Division determine was going to be the event perimeter?
We are still gathering reports. We are interviewing individuals.
You know what it is, though. No, you're just not going to tell us, right?
When I have those details, I will most certainly share those.
Was the gun already on the roof, or did the shooter carry the gun up with him?
I do not have that information at this time.
Well,
give us the exact playbook and strategy that you guys use when doing this event, so that the next event we have an exact plan and map of it, so that the people deserve to know what exact position you guys are going to take. Thank you, man. Bro, holy shit. Holy fuck.
when was the last sweep of that roof done?
There's a reason why it's called the fucking Secret Service, brother. What? There are some things that you're not gonna know, the fucking playbook, fucking line for line. Bro, that's a security threat. What the fuck?
The rally.
I do not have that information at this time.
So, how many holds? I mean, so most of us here have been in events, and Secret Service has been there. There's been security, and I can't tell you how many times we've said there's going to be a security hold right here. So we're going to wait, and we wait to 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, and yet we're hearing from you apparently that there were no holds in place. So ever instituted here with President Trump's going on.
They
stage.
should have.
And
they should have basic answers, though. I will agree. They should have basic answers for basic questions, right? And they can still navigate the plot until they have the actual answer. Because this was a subpoena.
Said, and this is, I think, connected with this. You said they hadn't adjudicated the shooter to be a threat. He was adjudicated to be a suspicious person, even though we've got some dynamic video that Mr. Krishnamurthy put on the video for us. So I guess my question for you is, and I think you answered this. I just want to see if you're consistent with what you said about an hour and a half ago. What do you do if a suspicious person is identified by the agency?
So at a number of our events, it is not unusual.
I know it's not unusual. What do you do?
Those individuals that are identified as suspicious, we will send teams out
Was a team sent out here then?
There were teams that were sent to identify and interview that individual.
They were sent to interview the individual who's scampered up in camo on top of a roof within 130 yards of his target. And did your team get there? When did your team get there to conduct that interview?
I don't have the details on the timeline. It is my understanding.
So
Wait, what?
If they did send a team and they're going to interview him, and you described that earlier as an investigation. Why didn't they put a security hold on President Trump going on stage at that rally?
At a number of our protective sites, there are suspicious individuals that are identified all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean that they constitute a threat.
Of course not. But here you got a guy scampering up the side of a building on top of a roof. It's identified to you, and you said you sent a team there. And you can't answer that. And this gets to one of my finer points, Mr. Chairman, if I can make it.
Wait, they knew the guy was on the roof, and they were sending a team to go interview the guy on the roof?
We can have these kind of
What?
interview sessions, 5 minutes, everybody gets a kiss at the pig, 5 minutes, and she gets to stonewall us, not deliver answers. So we say, okay, we're going to put together a congressional...
Yo, if a guy has a gun pointed at somebody or towards police, law enforcement, and he's not on a team, they just shoot instantly. What is the difference between pointing a sniper at a police doing a traffic stop in the middle of the street than it is there? Just fucking instantly shoot. What?
Committee, a blue ribbon committee. Same crap will happen. I am calling, and I'll support that, but I will tell you this, I am calling on the Speaker to give us and put together...
No. You are de facto a threat if you have a firearm pointed at a police officer. That's what it is. Or at anybody for that matter. Okay? Like, you don't need to ask or interview questions. What the fuck are you talking about? Is this because the guy didn't have the gun out yet? This person is pointing a firearm at nearly a president candidate and a bunch of officers and security service people. And what? Nobody shoots?
A truly independent commission of qualified former Secret Service agents, presidential and VIP protective services people who can actually conduct this kind of investigation and give us real answers, because I don't think you're going to give us those answers. You should have come today ready to give us answers. I call upon you to resign today. And I also would say I've got a bunch of UC requests, if I can go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
Proceed with the request.
Thank you. I apologize. It might take,
that's all right. Go ahead.
It might take a moment.
Very important.
Anthony Guglielmi, the Secret Service spokesman, one from him.
Without objection, so ordered.
Article, U.S. Secret Service says it previously denied Trump requests for additional resources, New York Times reports.
Without objection, so ordered.
Secret Service says it did.
I mean, okay, I don't even know how this works, but I would assume that the person at the top of this shit, like the lady over here, they're just pawns, right? They're disposable. They need a fall guy, somebody to look bad. Okay, resign. Okay, resign. And they just fucking keep lining them at the top. Oh, a failure happened? Okay, resign.
Denied earlier Trump requests for more federal resources.
Objections ordered.
Secret Service acknowledges denying some past requests by Trump's campaign for tighter security.
Without objections ordered.
Preliminary findings by Senator Ron Johnson and his committee.
Without objections ordered.
Articles entitled, Notice Anything Different About Trump's Secret Service detailed. Next, former Biden official corrects herself after saying Dems must turn their fire on Donald Trump to beat him. Secret Service director says buck stops with her, but she will not resign. Disney Star Wars Mark Hamill cracks joke about Trump's ear bandage following assassination attempt. Biden, I haven't engaged in inciting rhetoric. Trump has. I'm just talking about threat to democracy. Piece called Who is Secret Service?
See, like, they lose so much credibility when they say shit like that. It's like, I'm listening and I'm not listening anymore.
Kimberly Cheatle. Charlemagne the God says Trump's solely responsible for violent rhetoric that led to attempt on
Dude,
his life.
George Clooney said this comment at dinner. Lady Gaga let a comment know on TMZ that she does not like Donald Trump. Mark Zuckerberg liked 3 posts related to Donald Trump. Like, dude, like...
Video actress Amanda Seales pushes conspiracy theory Donald
Charlemagne,
Trump assassination trip was staged. Reports Secret Service identified rooftop as a potential vulnerability days before the rally. Watch, BlackRock removes ad showing former President Donald Trump's would-be assassin. Why does the Biden administration have 100% confidence Secret Service after assassination attempt? Secret Service director, we didn't put snipers on the roof because it was kind of sloped. Here's what Thomas Matthew Crooks did in the days leading up to Trump assassination attempt. Secret Service director under scrutiny for diversity initiatives after Trump assassination attempt. The official story on Trump's shooting makes no sense at all. Andrew McCabe says Trump assassination...
Mr. Chairman, point of order, I'm happy to assent to all of them.
Well, the guy was head glitching, actually.
You don't want me to read? Is it too tedious?
Well, we're not even really hearing them anyway, so if we could... It's up to you, Mr. Chairman.
You would like me to slow? I'll slow it down. I was probably going too fast. Secret Service's explanations for security failures ahead of Trump assassination attempt are not adding up. U.S. reportedly received intel of Iranian plot to assassinate President Trump. What WTH? Secret Service now saying that they didn't put any agents on the roof because slight slope was too dangerous. Report, U.S. officials received intel of Iranian plot to assassinate Donald Trump before Crook's attempt. Exclusive GOP rep Cloud. Homeland Security Agency is interfering in House's assassination investigation. Why Trump's raised fist after surviving assassination attempt is triggering the liberal media. Questions swirl over the security lapse at Trump rally, reviving old concerns about Secret Service. Secret Service scrambles to shift blame after Trump shooting as backlash hits hard. Nobody contacted me.
Recognize Mr. Waltz from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Director, please, I'd like to direct your attention to this video.
And I sincerely appreciate the clarity on this.
Can we turn up the volume, staff?
I want to ask you, because this has popped up. Republican Congressman Mike Walz, he said on social media on Saturday, and I'm going to read this for you because it does talk about you, Secretary. I have very reliable sources telling me that there have been repeated requests for stronger Secret Service protection for President Trump denied by Secretary Mayorkas. Your department has already pushed back on that, calling that absolutely false, but he is putting this on you. Can you respond to that, please?
Well, that is, yeah, that's a baseless and irresponsible statement, and is one that is unequivocally false.
Director Cheatle, did you...
Hold on, let me look at their windows. Interesting.
Director Cheatle, did you speak
Just looking.
with
Just looking.
your boss, Secretary Mayorkas? You fall under DHS. Did you speak with him on the 14th, the day after?
Yes, I did.
So you spoke with him before he made that statement?
I spoke with him immediately following the incident.
Did you inform him that all requests for additional resources for President Trump had been fulfilled? Or that it was false to say they had been denied?
I informed him that the request for that rally that day had been fulfilled.
Okay, you continue to answer that very carefully, because I made a broader statement.
Wait, what?
For that, I informed him that the request for that rally that day had been fulfilled.
Okay, you continue to answer that very carefully, because I made a broader statement. The agents that came to me made a broader statement that his permanent protective detail for years now have been asking for more.
So he's lying?
Is that correct?
I do not have specific incidents of those requests.
Is it correct that they've been asking for more?
I have heard the same reports that you have. Without having them in front of me, I am unable.
Those requests are made in writing. I mean, the agents are telling me they make them in writing. This isn't a verbal agency. Things are made in writing.
I understand what you're saying. I don't have those requests in front of me here to.
I'm not asking if you have them in front of you. Are you aware that they were made?
As I said earlier, there are times when requests are made, and depending on the availability of assets or if there is a way that.
So there were times when they were denied.
Wait, I'm confused. Hold on. Wait. So she's told this dude the requests were fulfilled. When asked again, she says that she doesn't have it in front of her, so she doesn't know.
If there is a way that vulnerability can be mitigated in a different way, then that is why the.
So there are times when they were denied for a variety of reasons.
That is why the Secret Service has a multi-layered and multifaceted security plan so that we can pivot if we need to.
In the wake, in the immediate 48 hours of an assassination attempt on a former president, could be the next leader of the free world, almost had his head blown off, your boss says that's irresponsible and false to say things are denied. And you had talked to him. So did he just make that up on his own, or did you tell him that?
We were speaking about the requests made at the rally.
Staff, can we show the next slide,
Wait,
please?
at the rally?
Then we have your spokesman. Did you sign off on this statement? That there's an assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources? And those were rebuffed. This is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capability as part of the increased campaign travel tempo. But next slide, please. Next slide, please, staff. We have the Washington Post article that says we now have senior Secret Service officials saying there were at times when it was denied. So which is it?
Again, there have been a number of conversations going on here.
Did you sign off on that spokesman's statement?
The
agency has learned new information indicating the agency headquarters may have, in fact, denied some requests for additional security from detail and was reviewing documentation to understand specific interactions better.
The spokesman's statement, I believe, was related to requests that were made.
Did you sign off on it?
For the requests that were made at the rally.
Did you sign off on the statement before it went out? I sign off on my press spokesman's statement before they go out. I would hope you would in the wake of an assassination attempt.
Yes.
You did. Mm-hmm. Categorically false that any requests were made. You signed off on it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that clarity. Madam Director, how many press conferences have you held since the assassination attempt?
We have put out press releases.
How many press conferences have you held? Gone to the mic, taken questions from the public, from the media? How many?
I have not held any.
How many has Secretary Mayorkas held?
That's pretty bad.
Zero. How many has the FBI held? Zero. How many has the Department of Justice held?
As a pretty well-funded body like that, I think they should be able to have a press conference and say, right now we don't have the answers, we're doing an investigation, we'll give you guys answers very soon, whatever, and then give them updates. I think that's perfectly fine. It doesn't cost much time or whatever. It's perfectly fine.
I know you know the answer.
I believe there was a press conference in Butler after the incident occurred.
By local law enforcement, not by you and not by the Department of Homeland Security. So this is how.
So they just don't care then.
Misinformation flies. In the darkness, in the absence of information. Now we have 9 days later before a congressional committee, we all represent almost 1 million people, and you still don't have answers. Are you aware that national news anchors are saying this was a hoax? On national television, they're saying, no, the president wasn't shot, it was flying glass. Are you aware of that?
I have not heard those reports.
Are you aware that, there are
what's our job to know?
rampant online that there were multiple shooters?
Yes.
Are you aware that because the shooter had overseas encrypted platforms in Belgium and New Zealand and in Germany, that a lot of people are speculating there could have been foreign involvement, logically? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And have you done anything to disabuse any of these notions today?
Okay, that was out of pocket a little bit, but.
No. You haven't. Madam Director, I would fire you. Regardless of the failure, I would fire you just how you've handled it since. You should have been the first to the mics to say, America, world, I want to assure you we're going to get to the bottom of this. I want to assure you full transparency. Our agency clearly had major gaps here, and I want to personally take responsibility and accountability. You should have been the first, standing alongside Secretary Mayorkas.
Oh yeah, surely, man. Some foreign body hired some random fucking young hillbilly broke dude. Okay, like, and surely they knew that if he was captured, he wouldn't snitch on nobody. Cause this guy, say nothing, guy. He's solid. He's 19. He's highly trained. This guy's a fucking mercenary from Russia. Oh, come on, man. Make it make sense a little bit, man.
And
make
I
it,
would even
brother,
go so
make it
far
make
as to
sense a
say
little
have
bit, please.
daily press conferences, updating everyone on what we know. But you haven't had any of that. What are you hiding behind?
I am not hiding.
Because you're making the situation worse. I think you've heard that on a bipartisan basis here. You are making this situation far worse in the absence of information. Let's move on. This is truly astounding. I want to be clear because you keep dodging the issue. Has President Trump...
It's not a straw man. It's just the fact that, like, people always think about the benefits of hiring somebody, of getting a mercenary. Nobody ever thinks about the fucking liability. But the liability is insane. Brother, if you're young like that, you're automatically a liability. You'll never get hired for anything of value. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, if the guy's been killed and he's captured, brother, he'll spill the beans. He's not trained. He's not like super committed to the foreign movements or whatever. Like, it's just some random, what the fuck are you talking about?
Trump's permanent protective detail.
Like, what are you talking about, man?
Additional assets over the last few years. He is clearly not your average former president. He's not Jimmy Carter in an old folks home. He's not President Bush painting out in his barn. He has multiple residences, a lot of rallies. He's very publicly engaged, and he has a foreign threat in addition to domestic threats. Have they requested additional resources?
That's the last question, but please feel free to answer.
Thank you,
Director.
Thank you. We have continued, as I stated earlier, to increase over the past year the assets that are at the former president's residence and supplied to his detail.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just ask for one more indulgence. It is clear you have not been to Butler, Pennsylvania. Leaders lead and should be on the ground. You have not been there. Instead, you went to the RNC, but you weren't originally even going to go there. Where were you originally scheduled to go besides the RNC, a national special security?
I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying there is reasonable problems, and there's a bunch of questions they're not answering. And Liddy's being pretty bad too. The whole thing sucks and it's trash, but it doesn't. Like, people think because it's not this, then it has to be conspiracy and aliens. It has to be. Like, it's not because it's not something, and it's not something that's close to it or something that's in the ballpark. Why is it always? Well, if it's not bullets and guns, it's ray guns and aliens. It just kind of has to be because I said so. Like, dude, like, I'm just saying you, I don't know, but you don't know either. These people don't know either.
I was always scheduled to go
and making scenarios of foreign
record that
bullshit.
The director
Doesn't help
was
anybody.
scheduled to go to Aspen.
It doesn't help anybody.
Hobnobbing around with I don't know what liberal elites go to Aspen. That was where you were originally scheduled to go to speak at a forum.
I was scheduled to go to the RNC. I was going to leave the RNC for 24 hours and return back to the RNC.
I hope, as your predecessor, Julie Pearson, with a security incident on the White House and under the Obama administration and Reagan's Secret Service detail lead, I would hope you would have the dignity for the sake of the agents in the service to resign.
Gentleman's time's expired. Chair now recognizes Ms. Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Cheatle, I'd like to remind you that you're under oath. The site team has a senior supervisor, an advanced team of protective intelligence.
Yo, this is Jan. Isn't that the lady that joined my fucking, dude, I'm pretty sure she joined when I was talking on the fake Elon Musk call, dude. She was right there. Brother, you doing that, bro, you lose so many credibility points. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, brother.
Intelligence team, a counter sniper element, and
as a parody account.
Who was
no,
the agent in charge?
Maybe it was.
How long has she been the agent in charge?
No, it wasn't.
And what is her Secret Service background?
So I'm not going to provide a name.
Why not? You're here to answer our questions.
No, I wasn't.
I'm not going to
She knows
provide
me.
names of.
You stated in your testimony, you said, I am here today to answer your questions.
That is correct.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to provide names of our personnel.
Why not?
Today.
The American people are demanding these answers from you today, Ms. Cheatle.
I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time.
You're not answering our questions. The advance element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advance report. Have you brought it here with you today?
We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested.
When will that be, Ms. Cheatle? Because you should have brought it today.
I am certain that our personnel are working on obtaining all of that document.
I don't believe you, and neither do the people watching this hearing. You're not doing well, as Mr. Moskowitz informed you. You've been sitting here for over 3 hours, and I have...
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know why she's grilling her that much. Because it's like, if they accepted the request and they said that they're gonna do it, and then they don't, I mean, they're liable and they get clapped for it. So I don't know what else you're supposed to do here.
Have you know, the entire
What else
country
can you do
is
here?
demanding you resign and demanding that you be fired if you do not resign. Things are not going well for you. You need to answer the questions. Was there a protective intelligence team, and what technical resources were utilized for that event, specifically drone or helicopter assets?
There were a number of technical assets that were deployed for that event, and there was a protective intelligence team that was assigned to that event.
Why was Crooks able to fly a drone over the entire area the day of the rally and the day of his assassination attempt?
To my knowledge, he did not fly the drone.
Yeah, stop calling her MTG. That's Magic the Gathering. Okay, I think she's. I think she renamed it MSG. MSG.
Over the entire.
I know that's also monosodium glutamate or whatever, but that's fine. It's better than removing.
How did he fly a drone over the area?
I like
period?
Magic the Gathering.
Any part of the
Don't
area.
don't lace it like that, bro.
Again, I would have to go back and check the timeline of when that took place and when the event.
Why didn't you bring the timeline with you today to answer our questions?
I don't have all of the answers on the timelines based on the criminal investigation.
Were you not prepared?
Okay, all I'm seeing is fucking incompetence, lack of professionalism, and just an overall waste of everybody's time. Okay, okay, I agree that they should be fired just for that right there, but the rest of it, I don't know.